Hey, how's it going, guys? It's gamewebcam. Now, before we start this video, yes, I did get a new pair of glasses. I am wearing a brand new pair of glasses on my face right now. So, I'm just saying this to get it over with. If you want to make a comment about my new pair of glasses, whether you like them, hate them, think they're ugly, make me look more like a girl, just put that down in the comments below. So, just wanted to get that over with. This is another little side project video that I'm going to be working on because I'm currently writing the script for another video that I'm going to be working on talking about Roblox's Ready Player 2 event, but something just came up recently that I feel like warrants a video, so I'm just going to do a quick recording of this video. And it's going to be talking about my academic life. So if you do not know, I go to the University of Arizona because I currently am going through college right now. I am in my junior year, and I am planning on majoring in computer science. Now, right now, I've taken a break from all my computer science classes for this semester, mainly just because of the pandemic and how it has severely affected my schedule for the past year or so. And one of the biggest ways that the pandemic has affected my academic way of life is that we have to take tests a lot more differently in this online world compared to just simply taking the test in person. Now, of course, we gotta make sure that nobody is cheating, right? Because, you know, when you are online and you're not in a physical room when you're not being stared at by a proctor, of course, there needs to be a way to do it online. And that way is done through several providers. You probably know of like an infamous browser. But the particular provider that I'm going to be talking about in this video is Examity, because Examity is the proctoring service that my university uses to ensure that students aren't cheating. And yes, I understand why this exists, because if you're taking a class online and you want to make sure a student is not cheating, it's very important that they use a platform to make sure that they are not cheating. I've recently just had a very terrible experience with Examity, and I want to talk about Examity and everything that's wrong with it, and hopefully some improvements so that way Examity could improve itself in the future. So let's glaze over the surface, right? And I know this is something that Examity will not be capable of fixing, because that is just an unrealistic expectation. So the first thing that I want to talk about Examity is the fact that you have absolutely zero privacy. When you take an exam on Examity, your privacy is the last thing ever that is considered. Pretty much, when you go onto an online proctoring program like Examity, literally it is a proctor but on steroids. They will get super paranoid over the littlest of things because, you know, we can't trust the kids, am I right? Because, you know, they're dirty little cheaters. So, of course, the way we have to do it is we have to take the most invasive measures ever to make sure that nobody is cheating. Now, of course, this is like the obvious webcam and microphone, but it also goes so far as to literally screen sharing, taking over control of your computer. I mean, when I think of something like taking over the control of a mouse and keyboard, it reminds me of those Indian tech support scam videos where they use those really shady programs to try and, you know, take over your computer to make sure that they can ransom you out of something. Yeah, very reminiscent of that. I wonder where they learned that from. This is my first time I've ever used Examity. I am in my junior year right now, and this is my first semester ever that I've ever had to use Examity, because I usually don't want to take classes online. This is one of the primary reasons why I don't like taking classes online. When I take a test on Examity, I tend to not use my primary computer at all. One, because if I did use my primary computer, which has a second monitor, they would immediately disqualify my test because apparently using a second monitor is complete BS and that can be considered cheating. Probably mostly due to the fact that their screen recording programs can only record one monitor, they can't record multiple monitors. So that's the first reason why I don't use my main computer. And the second reason is because I take my privacy very seriously whenever I navigate the internet. So when it comes to such a super invasive program, the privacy levels are as bad as Facebook, if not worse than Facebook. It is so shady to the point where I swear, how is this even legal? So, of course, I never take Examity exams on my computer. I take it on my laptop that I have, like, right over there. It's just sitting there, just charging. It just went through an update or whatever. So that's the device I use to take all of my Examity tests because I do not trust these people with any of my information whatsoever. And the fact that the U of A is completely okay with this is a huge disappointment. So, of course, that's the privacy aspect. And I know that there's not really a whole lot that can be done to change things. Because, you know, proctors are going to be forever super paranoid about people cheating. So, obviously, they're going to take the most invasive measures that they can to ensure that you aren't cheating. So I know that's not going to happen, but here's one thing that you can actually change, and it's the fact that the quality of the service is incredibly terrible. Now, throughout the 4 different times that I have had to use Examity throughout this entire semester to take tests to ensure that I am not cheating, the quality of the service was very subpar and reminds me of like a big corporation who offshores their tech support to like some Asian country or something because it's clearly cheaper there and they're doing it to cut costs. Now, here's the thing about all of my experiences. The quality for each proctor that you get is very inconsistent because there is a slight chance that you can get a good proctor who has a good quality mic and you can clearly understand everything they're saying. But there also is the other occasion where you can get a bad proctor with a bad mic which you could barely understand even as a native English speaker. I mean, the voice quality of these proctors are so terrible. I feel so bad for the people who do not speak English as their native language because I imagine it must be an utter hell for them to try and understand what the hell these proctors are saying. As a native English speaker, I can barely understand what these proctors are saying for the most part because their accent is super thick to the point where I barely understand the words that they are saying, or either that or their microphone is so bad quality that I pretty much cannot understand what they are saying because they unironically have the worst microphone quality ever. And just to get an idea of how bad the microphone quality is sometimes, I mean, imagine this shitty microphone quality. Literally, this is me using my webcam audio. But imagine this shitty audio quality, but it's way worse, and you can barely understand what the fuck I'm actually saying. This is how bad their sound quality is. And yes, I unironically actually got a proctor whose microphone quality sounded just like that. I literally had to tell the proctor several times that I could not understand what the hell he was saying. I was actually trying to get him to sound better. I told him, hey, distance yourself from your mic a little bit more. Clearly you're too close to your mic. How about you speak a little bit more quietly, because the fact that you're speaking so loud makes your voice more distorted. I was literally giving this proctor so many tips on how he could improve his mic quality, but the proctor clearly did not have a good understanding of English and did not take any of my advice whatsoever. So I just had to pretend like, oh, I can understand you now. I can understand you. I just pretended that so we could just get this shit over with. I swear, I wasted like a good 20 minutes of him fixing his audio quality mic. I mean, there was a 5-minute period where I was literally just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and I literally had to chime in 5 minutes later, be like, hey, are you still there? You haven't said anything. And then literally he comes back the next 5 seconds and he's like, oh, are you ready to take your test? I'm sorry. U of A, what the fuck is this? Okay? This is the worst quality of service that I've ever had to deal with. Clearly, you do not value the importance of striving for success for your students. All that matters to you is money. Because all that matters to you is that you want to spend the least as possible, cut as many corners as you possibly can, just so that way you can get barely passable quality. I mean, here's the thing. I've had this thought for the past few years, and I'm gonna say this now on film. But college is a business. It is a business. If you honestly think that college is meant to be striving for better education for all, I'm sorry, but you are fucking delusional. I am sorry. College is nothing more than a business. I'm pretty sure the university does not have education as its highest priority. I'm pretty sure they give a lot more priority to researchers, because that is what actually gets them more money than simply the tuition that students have to pay for in order to attend, to even be a resident on the college campus. If there is an overall argument that I have to make from this video, it's the fact that when schools tend to go online, it doesn't work. Many different reasons. The fact that low quality services like Examity exist is just only one of many reasons why online schools are failing, which we are pretty much leaving another generation of students unprepared, uneducated for the world that's about to come ahead of them. Alright, that's all I really had to say for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified for every single upload. Now I'm going to be working on a higher quality video. This was just a little side video. That's really all I have to say. Take care.